It's Monday.
It is Monday.
It is Monday. You know what I wanted to say? Instead of Ohio, I wanted to say Iowa. I'm so used to saying Iowa right now.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Ohio when the general election gets here. Let's bring in our roundtable today. Joining us is communications strategist Tamara Colbert and radio host and former advisor to Senate Minority Leader Reid, Rabin-Havt. Thank you so much for being with us. You guys ready to get started?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
You want to talk about some rumors?
Rumor time.
Rumor time. Speculation that Vice President Joe Biden will jump into the 2016 race. It's just continuing to grow, especially after his private meeting with Senator Elizabeth Warren this past Saturday. According to CNN, this meeting indicates Biden is feeling out influential Democrats before announcing his official intentions. So, Ari, what are the chances we could see a Biden-Warren ticket?
Zero.
Zero. No hesitation whatsoever.
0.0.
Why? Why do you say that?
Look, I think Joe Biden is somebody who probably will run and as sitting vice president deserves to run. And I think most Democrats would say it's pretty healthy to have voices in our party running against each other. I've said it here for months. It's better. A Democratic primary with multiple candidates and multiple philosophies is the best thing possible. Now, let me tell you why on three levels, why the chances are 0.0. Elizabeth Warren, the issue that got her into politics, the issue that spurred her in was actually bankruptcy reform, if you understand her history. She was a bankrupt. Her specialty at Harvard Law, her specialty in her academic writings is bankruptcy law. Joe Biden was one of the lead Democrats in the Senate pushing for the bankruptcy reform bill that George Bush signed into law in 2005 that Elizabeth Warren actually hated. The chances that suddenly her and Biden unite on a ticket for that reason alone are zero. But also, Elizabeth Warren likes where she is. She likes being in the Senate. She likes being able to tackle the issues that she wants to tackle. When you're in the executive branch, you don't have that luxury. And therefore, I think she'd like to stay in the Senate. And the chances of a Biden-Warren ticket are basically because for some reason, certain political reporters are bored and have nothing else to cover. Now,
I know Elizabeth Warren has said time and time again she has no intentions of running. So let's say he doesn't pick Elizabeth Warren based on that one issue. Tamara, do you think that Biden is still considering it and may pick somebody else?
Absolutely, he's considering it. Why wouldn't he? He's essentially the incumbent. He's got an automatic group out there being the vice president currently. But I think the Democrats just have a terrible ticket any way you look at it. It's the socialist ticket extraordinaire, and just what they need to add one more socialist, Elizabeth Warren, who hasn't done anything in the Senate. I mean, basically silent. So if you're talking about a Warren, a Biden ticket as plan B, that's a morning after pill for Democrats telling people they should never vote Democrat again.
Well, I would say to Ari's statement, there is one reason why that these two might team up is that's because they'd rather have Biden Warren in the White House than a Republican in the White House. And the way things are going with Hillary Clinton and we have seen big crowds at Bernie Sanders campaign events, but a lot of folks still don't think he is a real serious candidate. Meantime, Roger Stone, a former political advisor to Donald Trump, who will be on this program tomorrow, had this explanation about the pair.
Vice President Biden, I think, appeals to the same kind of establishment Democrats that Hillary Clinton does. And the weakness of Hillary Clinton appears to be to her left. This is why Bernie Sanders is doing so well. This, I think, explains why the vice president is meeting with Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren, on paper at least, is the ideal candidate to knock off both. She would co-opt Sanders, and she could very easily beat Hillary Clinton.
So that's exactly it there. You have Bernie Sanders, who some folks don't feel like is a serious candidate, and then everybody who's supporting him is protesting the Hillary Clinton ticket. You could have a Biden-Warren ticket that would be a real adversary. Tamara, would you be scared to face or have the Republican candidate face this kind of dream team ticket?
No, but I actually would beg to differ with Mr. Stone because I actually think Joe Biden actually would appeal to the regular Joe, common sense American, and then having Elizabeth Warren more on the far left socialist category. I think they would think that would be an ideal dream ticket to appeal to a broader Democrat base.
Can I ask a silly question?
Sorry.
Sure. I don't quite understand why Elizabeth Warren is a socialist. I like Bernie Sanders calls himself that. Great. Put him in that category if you want. But Elizabeth Warren's policies are actually not very socialist in nature. Her background and her academic writings aren't socialist. So I'm wondering, where does Tamara get that she's a socialist? I'm kind of confused by that.
She's about as far left as you could go. And she wants to give away the freebies, just like every other Democrat.
I think they prefer progressive.
Progressive. Okay, liberal, progressive. What do you prefer, Ari?
Look, I don't care, but socialism is a specific form of economic system. So if you're going to suggest somebody's a socialist, they should support that economic system in place, and most Democrats and progressives don't.
And I agree with Ari. That term is kind of bandied about a little too often.
There are Democrats and a lot of progressives that would really love to see her run.
A lot of Democrats love Elizabeth Warren. She's not running, and she doesn't want.
We got time for one more question, guys. I want to ask this one. Joe Biden, 72 years old.
I'm going to let you
Hillary
ask that
Clinton is
question.
67 years old. Some folks have said that she's too old to run for the White House. We'll give you each 20 seconds. What do you guys say?
No, this is the United States. You should be able to run for office at any age. Look at Ronald Reagan. He was well into his 70s. May the best candidate win to represent the people.
Ari, last word to you.
Look, I think age is a political issue. I think Reagan actually handled it well in his campaign, but it's a political issue that will be brought up.
Yeah,
Look
we'll
at all
talk
the young
more about
people
it.
that Bernie Sanders is attracting.
That's true.
Right?
That's
Okay.
true. Well, we're gonna talk more, Tamara and Ari, when we come right back, and we're gonna teach everybody what it means to be rickrolled, if you don't know, involving the Foo Fighters. We're gonna go a little bit off. We're also gonna talk about the markets and the candidates' reaction today. Coming up, stick around. Of our roundtable, with us again, Ari Rabin-Havt and communications strategist Tamara Colbert. So let's get to it.
You ready?
The markets and the 2016 campaign.
Wow. Yeah, the global markets took a turn for the worse today. That's probably a vast understatement. 2016 presidential candidates took to the press for a chance to voice their concerns over the impact of China's economic decline on the U.S. market. Carly Fiorina appeared on Fox Business this morning, and here is what she had to say.
I've been expecting a correction for some time now because the underlying fundamentals of the U.S. economy are not that strong. 2% growth is pretty lackluster.
Also, Donald Trump weighed in on the market drop. Quote, as I have long stated, we are so tied in with China and Asia that their markets are now taking the U.S. market down. Get smart, USA. Ari, without getting in too much detail here, doesn't Trump have at least a little bit of a point? Is the U.S. economy too intertwined with Asia? And who do you think is best positioned to use the market volatility to help make the case for his or her economic plan on the campaign trail? And I'm guessing you're not going to say Trump, but go ahead.
Well, what I would say is the world is globally intertwined. It's not, to say we're intertwined with Asia is odd. We're intertwined with every modern financial system in the world. And look, that's the result of globalization, which in some cases is the result of policies of Democratic and Republican presidents. And in other cases is the inevitable result of shifting technologies in production that allow us to manufacture something halfway around the world and have it in U.S. markets in 3 weeks. I mean, so the idea, we're intertwined. I don't know how you break that intertwinement. I would say that any issue that is in the press right now's likelihood to have an impact on 2016, in November 2016 votes is minimal if the issues continue. And if a year from now we're still talking about a stock market decline, then of course it's going to have a big issue. But look, the American electorate is very forgetful and fickle. We can move from in 2014.
Right. We still don't know what's going to happen. But tomorrow in 2008, the markets did play a huge role in the election season. Do you think we'll see a similar situation this time around if things do continue?
Are you talking to Tamara?
Yeah, talking to you. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? Ari is dead wrong. The American people, they might have a short memory when it comes to politics, but in the last 72 hours, American families lost $1.8 trillion out of their savings, checking, and investment accounts. Are you kidding me? $1.8 trillion. And we're talking 93 million Americans out of work. We're talking record debt, record deficits, $175 trillion in unfunded liabilities, and waste, fraud, and abuse in Washington, D.C. through the roof. The American people that I speak with on a daily basis want common sense. And I'll tell you, the candidate that's going to win the presidency is going to have a will of steel because he or she is going to have to make some tough tough decisions to help regain America's greatness in the world and at home.
Well, Trump and Fiorina seem to realize that that discussion maybe needs to start right now. And before we say goodbye to both of you, we like to kind of end on something we can all kind of agree on. And today, as that is the folks at Westboro Baptist Church are not the best people on the planet. They've protested the funerals of our U.S. troops. Over the weekend, though, the Foo Fighters performed in Kansas City, where the Westboro Baptist Church was there to protest the show. But the Foo Fighters fought back in a comical way. Take a look. Involving the music video for the 1987 song by Rick Astley, Never Going to Give You Up. Tara, what do you think about this response here by the Foo Fighters fighting back against the Westboro Baptist Church?
Well, I mean, I say hats off to anybody that wants to take a stab at Westboro. They don't act Christian. They're church in name only, Christian in name only. And good for Dave Grohl for having a sense of humor and going out and making a very strong statement. Good for him.
All right, Ari, last word to you.
Look, in 2004, I spent some time with Dave Grohl when he was campaigning for John Kerry. I found him to be one of the funniest people I've ever traveled with, and he's showing a sense of humor there, and good for him for taking on the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. We found it, something we can all agree upon. Good job to the Foo Fighters. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We'll have you back again real soon.
Thank you.
And we learned something new. Rick Rowland. He says he and other undocumented workers have paid thousands of dollars in taxes. So why does this award-winning journalist have a tax lien against him? Red Alert Politics contributor Ryan Gordusky joins us to explain what he uncovered. That's coming up next on Newsmax Now. And several are injured after a plane crashes in England. What happened? The answers in today's global headlines.